So I just finished watching Ambulance on 4K, but before we talk about that, if you guys like 4K movies, 4K reviews, movie reviews, video game reviews, and some tech reviews, make sure you guys subscribe and do us a favor and like this video because that really helps us out. So, I'm Matt from Let's Talk, and today we're going to be talking about the 4K release of Ambulance, directed by Michael Bay, released in 2022. It is starring Jake Gyllenhaal as Danny Sharp, Yahya abdul-mateen II as William Sharp, and Isaiah Gonzalez as the EMT in the hijacked ambulance. So, I'm sorry if I butchered those names, but they were pretty tough. So, this is the next installment in Michael Bay's filmography, and as it says on the back, it is non-stop Bayham, and they aren't wrong. Michael Bay likes to do it big, and he did it big with this. This was a really fun movie. It was basically just another high-octane action movie, and you know, it's something you could turn your brain off and just watch and really enjoy the explosions and the scenery, and it was a real great time. So just to touch on the plot, Will and Danny are brothers. Will is the adopted brother from Danny's family, and their father was a big-time bank robber, so he has a long record and a long history, and Danny followed in Dad's footsteps while Will tried to do the right thing, tried to get out of going down the wrong path, and he became a Marine, and now he's seems to be out of the Marines, and he's married with a kid, a newborn baby really, and his wife has cancer, she's very sick, and he's on the phone with the insurance companies trying to get a loan or an extension or some sort of financial help to pay for the sickness that she has. So he's very desperate, and he seeks out his brother Danny, who is a big-time crook and has all the money and robs banks. And he didn't want to do it, but he's very desperate, and it came down to that, and he made the phone call, and I'm sure he regrets making that phone call at the end of the day, but we wouldn't have a film without it. Also, I want to mention, on his way, he gets in this beautiful, fully restored Bronco from the 60s or 70s, which is easily worth over $100,000 in today's market. He could have sold that, bought a $3,000 Honda Civic, and had all that money to provide for his family. But I understand, I like my toys as well. It's a beautiful truck. And I just feel like every Michael Bay movie, or any action movie, the star always has a really nice old car. But hey, so like I said, this is a Michael Bay movie. You can tell by all the 360-degree rotating shots around the characters, and all the crazy angles, and just all the camera work that they did, which is awesome because this movie looked great on 4K and it sounded even better with the Dolby Atmos. This is an action movie to its core. This is the definition of an action movie, and it's a great time. If you like 80s, 90s, all that action type of movie, Bruce Willis movies, Arnold Schwarzenegger, you're going to have a great time with this. So if I could compare it to something, I would actually compare it to maybe the ending of Swordfish or Taking of Pelham 123 with Travolta. And that was an awesome movie also. You should check that out if you haven't seen it. The movie also reminded me of Speed because that movie takes place completely on a bus for the most part. So they rob a bank, they end up hijacking an ambulance, and that's where our movie begins, really. So it's just a high-octane chase through LA. You get all the scenic shots. You see downtown LA, you see the LA River, you get all the major shots that you would come to expect in an action movie, and it was a great time. It was really filmed amazingly, and I loved seeing all the scenery they added in this movie. It was awesome. I also liked in the beginning when the cop who gets shot that's riding in the ambulance, him and his partner, they were talking in the cop car, and that he was making all sorts of movie references, and I believe they're all Michael Bay films that they were talking about. They're talking about Bad Boys, The Rock. It was really funny the way they did that. So I think everyone who starred in this movie, outstanding performance. They all did a great job. They really sold their roles, and you could really see the desperation. Jake Gyllenhaal blew me away in this movie. This is probably my favorite Jake Gyllenhaal movie. He was great in Spider-Man, but this is the first time I've really seen Jake Gyllenhaal as like a real bad guy, and really, he really shined in this, and it was great. I loved it. But next to Jake Gyllenhaal and Yahya's performance, the EMT played by Azalea Gonzalez, she did great, and they really made her to be part of I guess it was a trilogy. You know, there's not one star to this movie. All three of them really together connected this movie, and I think they did a fantastic job. The action was nonstop. It was very believable. They're doing a high-speed chase through the city, and she's supposedly the best EMT around. There was a throwaway line in the beginning about that, and you really believed it because she's got doctors on FaceTime, and she's doing like a surgery that an EMT should never be doing in a police chase. So it's just you're on the edge of your seat the entire time. It was a real fun ride. So I really enjoyed the movie. I thought it was a great time. But we'll talk about the 4K presentation now. So, you know, we got a basic slipcover. And once you open that up, you got your Blu-ray and your 4K. So I watched this on my OLED TV with my Sonos soundbar and all that stuff, and it sounded incredible. The Dolby Atmos on this is insane. Those rear speakers are really put to work with this movie. Just all around, all of your speakers are really going to get a workout with this. The subwoofer is pumping. The Atmos track on this is easily 5 out of 5, 10 out of 10. Absolutely amazing. And it's a new release, you know, it's a 4K disc. It was shot on modern technology, and it's a Michael Bay film, so it looked incredible. So for the 4K presentation, this is easily a 10 out of 10 disc. I wouldn't say reference quality yet, because there's other stuff out there that looks and sounds a lot better, but this is an amazing package right here, and it's a real showpiece to show off your system. Also, I wanted to add that there's a lot of special features on this disc. There's some documentaries, some making ofs, how they do the stunts. They interviewed all the actors, and it was really interesting. I watched almost all of it, and it was really fun to watch because you don't get a lot of that, especially with studio releases. Some of the special features, if any, are really nothing, and this had a lot of cool stuff to check out. So as far as the 4K is concerned, I highly recommend this. I cannot compare it to the Blu-ray because I didn't watch the Blu-ray. I'd imagine that it would still look good because, again, it's shot on modern technology. So I still think the 4K is the way to go. Maybe wait for a sale, because I can imagine this going on sale for maybe like Black Friday or the next big holiday coming up that they do Blu-ray sales. But I think it was worth the money. I really enjoyed my time with it. It's a little long, but it's not terrible. I had a great time, and I can definitely recommend picking up the 4K if you were interested in seeing this movie. But again, it is streaming on Paramount Plus, so if you want to check it out there, and then you end up enjoying it, catch it on sale, and then have the best quality right here on 4K. So, closing thoughts, the film itself I would give about an 8 out of 10. I really had a great time. It was a great movie. I can't wait to watch it again, maybe just because of the presentation you get from the 4K, because the disc itself, 10 out of 10. So, I had a great time, definitely can recommend it, and that's about that. So if you guys made it this far, I just want to say thanks. Throw this video a like if you liked it. Are you going to pick up this movie on 4K? Have you seen it yet? Let's talk anything ambulance down in the comments. Have a great day, guys.